All right, YouTube Nation. So, um, this is the locomotive that I picked up at the April 2024 train show at York. As I had explained in the video sharing my haul, this is going to be the next project locomotive because at the show she couldn't run. Sorry about that. At the show she couldn't run. The light was on. No one was home. It has the Pitman motor. And when I opened her up, I found a couple of other interesting things inside. But when I took it back to the hotel room, I used my 9-volt battery and that little thing that I got from that Hobby Tools supply store. The motor wants to run, but there's something preventing it. And I've been itching to get this thing home, so that I can get this thing on my test track and get it to run again. So I'm going to switch the power pack on. I'm going to put this thing on the track. So you guys could see for yourself. I tried playing with the gears of the motor. Let me see if I can zoom out. Can I zoom out? Yes, you can zoom out. So I've got the power on. Throttle in the forward position, and let's see if anything that I did in the hotel room changed anything. And before I do anything, I just noticed that it was not re-railed properly. Alright, here we go. And I got this thing on full power, and we got nothing. No juice. The motor is completely seized up. Let me shut the light off over here. See if I can get any enlightenment. Right, so not even the light will come on. It's in that bad of a condition. So we've got our work cut out for us. Let's dig in. Alright, so we're going to take the shell off. I'm going to use a slotted screwdriver. This seems to be a notch right over here, that I can remove the shell. This side over here, and that side over there. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this shell. I'm going to keep it, clean it, replace it. I know it was decorated for Baltimore and Ohio, and I could already see that it is 110% faded. You could barely see Ohio right over here to the right of my fingertip. You could also see the B&O logo, or where the B&O logo should have been. This is unfortunate, but we're going to put it into that tray. We're going to remove the weight that is between the front and rear trucks. The coupler we're going to keep on. Go with it. Let's let it go along for the ride. And you'll see that there is a shaft in between the front and rear trucks of the locomotive. So we want to be sure that we want to hold on to that. It will also appear that the front and rear trucks are held in with the clip, but before we remove the front and rear clips, I want to put some clips onto the motor, see if I can get some sort of response, better than I did with the battery. So I have the clips on the motor. Oh. Did you see that? It wants to live. Just gotta put it. I wonder if the frame is energized. No. It gets all its juice from here. Will it do anything here? No. All from the motor. Now the light is shining bright. And we have to disengage because I just saw smoke. When there's smoke, there's fire. All right. Let's take this puppy apart. Hold on. Right, so as you can see, the front and rear trucks are held in by clips. And you have to be very careful that there is a shaft in between the front and rear trucks, which means there's a gear inside each truck. Fortunately, unlike a Marx locomotive, these trucks are easy to remove because there's a clip on each end of the truck. So the big chicken that I am, I'm going to do this one at a time, and I'm going to take pictures because I want to be sure of what I'm doing. Because if I lose my way, I have a frame of reference. All right. Let's begin with the rear truck. So I'm going to squeeze in this squeeze in the clips of the rear truck. Off it comes. We are going to place the gear shaft, and it's very nice. They're not the orientation of the gear of the dumbbell. They're not in the same position. Hold on one second. Yeah. So as you can see, they're not in the same angle. That means it won't slip out so easily. So let me see what my plan of attack here is. Get all this creeping crap off. Oh my goodness. This clip is very loosey-goosey, which means I gotta be very careful not to lose it. Do I take care of the motor first, or do I take care of the truck first? Tricky, tricky, tricky. Let's work from the bottom up. And it's also very filthy dirty. Going to take my nut. I don't believe that just happened. Lesson learned, be careful with brittle plastic. I could probably find a replacement. It's not the end of the world. All right, that side is off. Let's not be hasty. All right, it's about to come off. All right. All right, as I suspected. And I'm going to turn this around. Because it's this way. roads. Like I always say, orientation matters. These wheels are disgusting. Was this a traction tire? It looks like a traction tire. It is a traction tire. And it's in very sorry shape. This is another traction tire, which is also in sorry shape. And wow, look at that. So the traction tire is on the engineer's side of the locomotive. So when we remount the axle into the locomotive, we want it going this way because it's up right now. It's upside down, facing me, and when we turn it right side up, the truck is going to be sitting like that, where the traction tire is on the engineer's side. Can I remove? Yeah. Gear seems okay, and the motor is held in. It seems that it's not just the motor; it's also the clips that are held in place with the screw over here. I see no reason to remove the screw, to remove the motor, but I do very much see a reason to clean it. And I'm going to grab my simple green. Get right in there. And all that filth off. And no, I do not own a ultrasonic cleaner. Not that it's within my, it's not a budgetary reason, it's because necessity reason. I don't see the need for a for an ultrasonic. Alright, that is clean. It's not metal. Doesn't look metallic. Alright, that is clean, and I am going to take my red lithium, put it on each gear. Depending on the situation, you can either apply it sparingly or slather it. In this case, I am slathering. And I am going to reinsert this. No, it didn't matter. These wheels are in sorry shape. Let's polish them. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Alright, so what I've gone ahead and done was, and I did it off camera, because I don't want to bore you guys too much. I took my rotary tool with the steel brush, and I polished both the inside of the axle, and I also cleaned the wheel itself, and it came out pretty nice. And it also cleaned up the traction tire as well. I'm amazed. So I'm just going to apply some red lithium to the gear of each axle. And put it in there like so. And put that in like so. And I am remembering the orientation of the wheels, and they are correctly oriented. Let me see if I can get these wheels to turn. Yeah. They're turning. So now I am just going to put this cover back on. Where did I put it? I put it over here. Yeah, this is nobody's fault but mine. Well, you know, it's I only paid $5 for this thing, so, but you know, I do have I might have a replacement couple of truck cover for this thing if all else fails. Snap. All right, we're snapped back in. Wheels are turning. Very nice. Now let's get to the motor. I see no reason to disconnect, to unsolder the motor. I do see a reason, however, to clean the crud that's on this thing. Oh my goodness. The worst enemy is neglect. So I'm going to take this thing off one brush at a time. Or can I? No. Brushes are on there. They are soldered on there. Really don't want to unsolder, but I would love to get into that motor, into that commutator. All right. No. I can get into the commutator from over here without having to dismantle everything. All right. You see that right underneath the brushes. I could get it right over here. I'm sorry. I'm using the gear of the bottom gear to turn the commutator so I can get all that filth off. I'm spinning the bottom gear. looks in fair shape. All that. Look at all that. Now I'm going to take... just need to find my toothpicks so that I can clean in between the commutator plates. Hold on 1 second. Alright. Found a yellow toothpick. Get the oxidation right out. All right, so and since it appears I have the room for it, I am going to place a couple of rare earth magnets just behind the motor. Like so. Hold on a second. I put a couple of rare earth magnets that I picked up at Harbor Freight. Put it right behind the motor. Put it right behind the magnet. And I'm going to take my air tool oil. I'm going to put it just behind the windings. Make sure that these guys... Alright. And some red lithium in between the top and bottom gears. Let's see if we have anything. Ready? Here goes nothing. This is at 60% throttle. %40 throttle. She's staggering below 40, but she could do 40. All right. Let's take care of the front truck. And I will do that off camera. Well, I took care of the front axles, the Dremel, the steel brush on the metal brush on the Dremel really cleaned it up, very nice and shiny for all the axles. It even cleaned the traction tires, and remarkably, the traction tires are in very good shape. And the front truck has been lubricated with red lithium. I'm just going to put some red lithium on these axles and then put the truck cover back on and then put everything back together. So hold on, we'll be right back. Incidentally, however, and I forgot to mention that, on the issue of orientation, seems that the front truck, the traction tires, when they are remounted, they are on the fireman's side, whereas the rear truck, the traction tires are orientated for the engineer side. So that is worth noting. All right, hold on. Well, the reassembly of the locomotive was not without its horrific speed bump. I had reassembled the locomotive, and the leads had come loose. When I attempted to resolder everything back together, this happened. A catastrophic failure with the motor. I guess I'm still a little bit too clumsy handling a soldering iron, because soldering irons and plastic do not mix very well. So, fortunately, I had a spare pitman, and after a little improvising and removing of the headlight, because the headlight had also, that was a goner. So without further ado, I have a working locomotive. So here we are. I've had to mill a little dip in the weight to accommodate the new motor with the flywheel. I have all the leads properly connected, and yeah, it's kind of in reverse. There were two black wires for both positive and negative, so now black is positive, red is negative. I used the red wire, what the hey, and I put in an LED bulb. So here we are with the black for the positive, red for the negative, and the milled weight. And here we are going forward. And here we are going backward. And this is an LED bulb, so there is nothing in the backward direction. But here we are with forward again. And again backward. I am a very happy camper. So now our next thing to handle would be the shell, whether to clean it, keep it, improvise upon on it, or replace it. Stay tuned. Well, I gave it careful consideration, and I decided to clean and keep the shell because the headlights were intact, the horns were intact, the whole shell, all it needed was a good cleaning, and I put in decals. Since this was a Baltimore and Ohio locomotive, and she had the B&O colors, I downloaded, printed some decals, and I put it on. It's not fancy, but, you know, it's a $5 locomotive, but she looks good. So, I mean, I didn't put a coupler on the front pilot. Seems that the housing for the front coupler is, busted somewhat. So I'm not going to bother. I am ready to take this girl to the layout, see what she's got. Alright, so we have this girl on the non-DCC EX mainline because I want to see how her voltage and amp draw are. And once we give her a few runs around the bend, I'm going to hook up these cars to see how well her pulling power is. So, without further ado, here we go. She's running, she's stammering. I would suppose the motor needs to stretch its legs. We have... Come on. Current draw isn't too bad. I do have it at between 60 and 65% throttle. And here we go again. I'm just going to increase the throttle slightly. But it's not bad. So I'm gonna let this thing run for a little while longer. So that it can acclimate, and then we'll hook some cars up. Let's see if the lights are on. Yeah, the lights are working. You may not just see it because it's going way too fast. So I'm going to let it run for a little while longer. And we'll see how she does pulling a consist. Be right back. Well, even though this isn't the original motor, it is running. I do have to keep it at a high throttle, but she could certainly pull. She can't handle a low throttle setting, but you know, I'm pleased I got the thing to work, even because aside from the motor itself, the rest of it is running. I mean, what do you expect for $5? It's still a pretty good bargain. It runs. I'm satisfied. I might add on a few cars. You know, let's add on a few cars. Well, I'm calling it. It's a moderate success. Not a complete success because the motor had to be replaced. But I was able to get, this thing to run. So, to all my subscribers, thank you for all your support. If you aren't a subscriber, thank you for stopping by. Please remember to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you soon.